Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So my name's Katie and today I'm going to be doing some 5-star predictions. So I'm sorry for the little break if you haven't seen my face in a couple of weeks. I was a bit tired and a bit stressed last weekend to do any filming. Yeah, because exams are a bit stressful and I was very tired and it was a certain time of the month and yeah, things got on top of me. But I'm very excited to be back and talking about some books that I'm hoping will be 5-star books for me. So I don't think I've ever done a 5-star predictions book video before, just because I feel like I'm not always that great at predicting, although sometimes I do think I predict quite well. But also I feel like often my 5-star predictions tend to be books in series, like later books that I've loved the first one and I know I'm going to love later ones. But I generally try to pick books that aren't part of series or are the start of series rather than like the 5th sequel in a series that I've given all 5 stars to already. But some are kind of pushing the bounds a bit of my arbitrary rules I've set for myself. But anyway, so oh yeah, also before I forget, I always have linked in the description links to ways to like help the world, and I especially have wanted to draw your attention to the Palestine one and ways you can help support Palestinians and support the freeing of Palestine. And I would also highly recommend boycotting anything from Israel. So my family have always never bought anything from Israel. Like that's a really easy thing you can do, like in supermarkets, just checking, especially like fruit and veg and things, where it's from. And yeah, so boycotting can be very effective, so I would highly recommend you do that. And it's something you can do forever, because obviously I feel like sometimes social media trends, things get trendy for like a week and then people tend to forget about it, but actually this is something that's been going on for years, so it's something that you should be doing kind of long term. And obviously it's very sort of there's a lot of history and a lot of sort of deep-rooted conflict, so it's not something that's going to be solved in a week of social media campaigns. But yeah, so I'd highly recommend you to check that out and support as best you can. So yeah, so anyway, on to the video. So the first book that I have on my list is The Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. And this one is, I think it's set in about the 1950s, and I think it's set in San Francisco, and it's following Chinese American main character. I think she's called Lily from the description. Yeah, and I believe it is following a lesbian bar called the Telegraph Club, and I just think it's gonna be really interesting, and a look at like queer history especially I think is gonna be fascinating. And I've heard this book tackles like a lot of more heavier themes. I've never read anything by Melinda Lowe actually, but I know she has a lot of other stuff. Oh, I just whacked myself in the face. So yeah, I'm interested to see what I think of this, and hopefully I really enjoy it. Yeah, because I don't read historical fiction that much, but often when I do I actually really enjoy it. And I've been into like Regency era stuff. I mean, I know the 1950s is not that but I just felt like I should mention that. But yeah, so I'm excited for this one. So yeah, I don't think I said anything coherent there or even gave a synopsis. Okay, sorry, you're not getting synopses. Okay, then the next one is, this is a weird one because I have very mixed feelings on the First Law trilogy by Joe Hornby, but I have a feeling I'm going to really enjoy the Age of Madness trilogy. I don't know, I've just heard good things and I feel like it's slightly newer, so maybe a bit more kind of modern. And hopefully some of the pacing issues from the First Law series are resolved, because I do actually really like some of the characters in the First Law books. So I'm excited to sort of see other characters in these, like new characters, and give them a chance. And I have a feeling like if I like it then I will really like it. So yeah, I'm putting this on this list, especially The Trouble with Peace, because I've heard really good things, but I've also heard good things about A Little Hatred, so I guess that could also be on here. So yeah, I'm excited to see what I think of these. I have no clue what the synopsis for this is. Okay, then next we have City of Lies by Sam Hawke, and this is a series that I'm really excited for. City of Lies is the first one, and I just have a feeling I'm gonna love this. I think it follows like maybe a brother and a sister as the main characters. Sort of, one of them is trained as like the poison, the taster, and he can like survive different poisons. He's like trained himself, and it sounds very like political. And this like brother and sister teaming up and like magic, and it just sounds really good. Also, I really like the cover, and I also really like the cover for the sequel. It's like the Hollow Empire or something. I can't see any pictures, but yeah, so I'm very excited for this one, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. This is a really hard video to make because I feel like I don't really know synopses for any of these books, but I'm just very excited for all of them, and just from the sounds of like stuff I've heard, I feel like I will really like them, so that's why they're on here. Okay, then next we have Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. So this is the last book in the Farseer trilogy, and I have read a random selection of Robin Hobb's books, not in the proper order. Well, they've mostly been in the proper order, but from what I've heard in the Journeyman trilogy of the events of Assassin's Quest, I feel like I'm really going to love it. Yeah, so again, I don't know how much of a synopsis I could give for this because then I feel like it'll be spoilery, but in the main trilogy we're following Fitz, who is a bastard of the Farseer throne, and it's basically following him growing up and his like involvement in the court. He basically gets trained as like the court's assassin, it's not like the assassin in like the swordy type way. It's more like the kind of underhanded like political assassinations, like slipping poison into tea and stuff, that kind of almost like a spy master type thing. So there's a lot of politics in these books. I just think I'm really gonna enjoy this one, so I'm excited. Also, I've heard really good things about Royal Assassin as well, but I know Royal Assassin has a lot of Fitz and Molly in. I'm not a fan of them, even though I've only really seen them in Assassin's Apprentice, but yeah, so I feel like that might hinder me from giving it the full 5 stars, but from what I've heard of this one, it's all good, so yeah. Okay, then next we have The Stone Knife by Anna Stevens. So this is another one I don't know a lot about, but I think I've heard it has like a lot of cinnamon roll characters, which for me is like a major selling point. I love cute characters, and it sounds really good actually. The like synopsis, it just sounds pretty much like a standard fantasy, but just from seeing the author's like Twitter description, it just sounds like it has a lot of things that I love in it. And also actually I have heard Patrick from Patrick Leo, he really likes this book, so yeah, I'm excited to read it, I guess. Let's see if it has any pretty... No, that's boring naked, that's sad, but anyway, don't judge a book by its cover. I feel like it's lesson 1 we learn in childhood, but then just ignore from then on. I think I've also heard this book has like magic mushrooms or something in it, which I quite like mushrooms, so, well, not in that way, but oh, I'm just digging myself a hole. Anyway, I like mushrooms, not magic mushrooms. Well, I like mushrooms that are magic, but not magic mushrooms. Don't do drugs. Okay. Anyway, okay, then we also have, so this is kind of breaking my rule of the last book in a series, but A Rule of Wolves by Lou Bodiger. I feel like I'm gonna love this one because it's the final book in the series, and I've actually heard quite good things. I really enjoyed King of Scars, even though most people didn't, so I feel like if a lot of people are enjoying this one, then I'm definitely gonna enjoy it. So yeah, and it's just the final book in the Grishaverse. There's been a lot of Grishaverse hype recently with the Shadow Moon TV show, which is cool. I like getting excited, and I love Nikolai, who's one of the main characters, and I love Zoya, who's another one of the main characters, and I love Nina, who is also another one of the main characters. So yeah, it's just like the 3 best characters are the 3 main characters of the series, so yeah. I'm excited to see how it all kind of wraps up, and just I feel like I get emotional when like series come to an end, so that's why I feel like it's probably gonna like tip me over the edge into 5 stars, just because I just emotions. Any book that like makes me a bit emotional always tends to get like 5 stars. Well, if I like the characters and stuff, but yeah, and hopefully it's a 5-star read. Yeah, I wonder how long it is actually. It's nearly 600 pages, so that's quite a decent size for like YA fantasy. Yeah, okay. Then another book I have on this list is The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake, and this is one I've just heard a lot of people screaming about on Twitter. And from what I've heard, it sounds really good, and I feel like I really enjoy it. I think it's dark academia, and I haven't read a lot, but I read Ninth House and I really liked it, and I love watching How to Get Away with Murder. So yeah, I guess that's my only experiences with dark academia maybe, but I have very high hopes for this one, and just from the sounds of it and like the characters and their interactions, it just sounds like it could be really good. So yeah, I don't really know what it's about at all. I know there's a character called Nico and there's a character called Libby. That's all I really know. And I think there's a character called Callum and there's a character called Gideon, because I always see stuff about Gideon. I always think, oh, Gideon from Gideon the Knight, but it's a different Gideon. And I think there's a character called Parisa as well. I don't know, this is how much I see it about on Twitter. I like name the whole cast, but I also could not give you a synopsis at all of what it's about, other than it's dark academia. And the cover's really cool actually. I like the like swords, so I'm excited for that one. Yeah, so that is all my 5-star predictions. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments a book that you have yet to read and you think you will give 5 stars to it. I would really love to know. Or if you think I'll enjoy any of the books I've mentioned. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I hope you're all having a really great day, and I will see you next time.